In Malawi, it's Annie.
I'm Annie Alaniz, and what else do I say about myself? I'm a gynecological oncologist, so I take care of women that have cancer. I do surgeries for those cancers, and I also give chemotherapy.
Annie grew up sharing one room with her 8 siblings. Statistically, she shouldn't have amounted to anything. She wasn't just poor, she was a girl. But Donna from Texas met Annie on a mission trip and offered her the chance at an education.
I was told I was insane and it was crazy. I was bringing this unknown village child into my house. And yes, it's one kid, but to one kid, that's huge. But she ended up the homecoming queen, the Miss Spirit queen, and the valedictorian of that high school.
Now every year she climbs Mount Kilimanjaro to raise funds for children who were once like her. Every year. She has also climbed to the top of her field as chief resident of her hospital in Houston. And back in Malawi, she's built 12 children's homes, a primary school for 400, a church and a clinic treating 35,000 patients a year. Annie is giving tens of thousands access to the same opportunity she was once given by Donna.
I think the story that really affected me, Mom had showed up with this child who had had diarrhea, and she had walked like 15 miles maybe to come to the clinic, and she was very dehydrated. And my dad knows this procedure where you can do, they're called interosseous needles, where you can actually put one through the bone when you can't find an IV because the child is so dehydrated. He couldn't start a central line because he didn't have any of those things, and I knew those things existed here, but they didn't exist there. So I kept throwing him ideas of things that he's like, oh, don't have anything for that. Nope, don't have anything for that. So now I was starting to see all the things he didn't have at his disposal. And then now it was becoming clear to me the gap. And I just remember feeling desperate because, you know, what else could we do? She was becoming more and more pale and less responsive, and it was just sort of laying there. And I think I had exhausted everything that I could think of from the limited medical knowledge that I knew, and it became clear that we weren't gonna help this baby. And so I was there with my dad and watched her die. Her mom wailing, and she was by herself. My dad was helping her tie the baby on her back. I realized like this woman was gonna walk back home for 15 miles like with a dead baby on her back. Really was healthy 48 hours before that. I couldn't take it. I just lost it because it's just so senseless. I remember the nurse coming and saying, oh, it's okay, you don't have to cry. This happens here all the time. But I was like, why? Why does it have to be? You know, I mean, what makes that baby less important on the planet? And I think that is some of the things that drive me every day because I don't know why. Being born in Malawi just stacks everything against you. That just makes you a non-entity. When you don't see yourself in the face of someone and you can't see you in their shoes, it is very difficult for people to identify themselves with that as something that could happen to them and not just look at it as an African problem. It's all of our problem.